All right, what's up everyone? Welcome to an in-depth masterclass of Gravy Bones with our brand new Pro Tour champion. It is Shirui.
Hello. So I guess I'll do a quick deck tech.
No, it's not going to be quick. It's going to be a long, grindy episode. We're going to talk about your matches as well in the Pro Tour. So overall, you played everything Gravy. We discount the draft rounds. So it's 12 rounds of CC.
Yeah.
And you lost 2 games. We've got the deck laid out here. There's still some cards in the sideboard. But where do you want to start? Equipment?
Yes, I can start with equipment.
Okay.
Crown of Dominion is what I'll be running into most matchups. It is pretty vital to get the first gold to start things off. I mean, a lot of times you need to see your tipples before your allies, so you can either arsenal the tipple to get the train going, to get the gold going. So this helps if you see it in the other way around. If you see allies first before your tipples, so you can get that one-time bailout. Or you can also draw you. Let's say if you know your top card is a tipple, you can actually draw it towards a tipple, and you can use the one remaining float to play the tipple and discard an ally as well.
You said tipple so many times.
The tipple is kind of the lifeblood of the deck.
All right, so most of the matchups you're running Crown of Dominion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Balance of Justice comes into matchups like Dio or the Mirror, where they draw 2 cards very often, Syndra as well, and Katsu, because the 2 block adds a lot to block breakpoints, and drawing a card when they either do their Ancestral Empowerment or Spark of Genius turns, or they crack their gold, is very useful to just like even the scales. And Dead Threats is the only chest equipment because it's just one block that is a tunic every time you put you put the airline equipment. It's really good.
Yeah.
You can use it's an instant as well, so you can use it on opponent's turn. So to use things like Quick Dodge Plexus and AB. Gold Beta Hook. I mean, gold is how Gravy Bones gets everything done. So being able to generate basically I guess an unlimited amount of it is pretty good. And having 9 tipples also means you can get a free gold beta hook, a risk-free gold beta hook activation once a while.
Okay.
Mage Master Boots is typically what I run, since it enables you to get the crazy double ally turns. And Quick Dodge Flexes I run into matchups like Syndra, Dio, Katsu, so the aggressive matchups where you have to block a lot, and it can actually turn your no block allies into essentially 4 block.
Yeah.
I also run into Slippy. I think I mentioned before because of Snag. Can use Snag and Quick Dodge Flexes in conjunction. Is that the word?
Conjunction.
In conjunction to completely block out Bonds of Agony. Yeah.
Right.
Because the bonds are still going to 1.
Yeah, bonds still
Snag.
will be 1. Yeah.
So it's quite important. And you also can activate it after using Blind the Water to discard an ally. With the Dead Threats to just get a free 2 block.
Right. Oh wow. Okay.
Or you can also Snag, Gravy, discard a card, and then Quick Dodge it. So there's many good uses to this.
Wow.
And
interesting.
I chose my 3 AB because I expected some Kanos to be the headpiece, the gloves, and the boots. I think this deck is actually quite reliant on Dead Threats free resource, especially in the arcane matchup. Dead Threats can sometimes tap for free resource after your opponent has killed an ally. Since after the allies die, they actually enter face up before they get turned face down. So Dead Threats can be activated. It's
okay.
particularly helpful for matchups like Verdance. If they go Scar for Scar on like your ally and then go into some arcane damage, you can tap Dead Threats to get a free life.
Okay, actually speaking about that, right? Now that you've touched into a few different matchups, let's go back to Gravy. What's so powerful about Gravy Bones?
I think Gravy Bones is really good bot state hero. I think he's one of the most balanced iterations of bot state heroes that LSS has made. And his power comes from being able to present really good numbers, since his allies are technically played for free from the graveyard. And he has also really insane cards like Conquer the High Seas. I think Swift of Soup is a really good red card. Chart the High Seas can sometimes be draw to.
So with Gravy, I mean, you've talked about gold a lot. So that's an important part of Gravy's plan, right?
Yeah. So Gravy Bones' hero ability is probably one of the best hero abilities in the game. Being able to tap his hero to draw and discard a card makes it so versatile. You can discard an ally to essentially draw a card for free. You can discard a red to gain 2 resources if you draw a blue. Or you can discard a blue to turn on his other side of his ability to start playing allies from the graveyard that turn. So
yeah.
But all this comes at the cost of requiring you to sacrifice a gold token.
Yeah.
So and gold itself is also just really strong in a deck with this many blues. It means you can just usually crack the gold and draw typically another blue to just gain a free resource. Also dig you deeper, because the more cards you draw, the more likely you are to see your power cards. So having this versatility to just draw a bunch of your deck in one turn makes it so you will see your cards like Conquer the High Seas, your Sawbones.
Like you find the power cards faster.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Gravy doesn't have a weapon, you have Compass. So what everyone is saying, like, wow, the best players know when to use the Compass. What's your opinion of that?
I think you should try use Compass if it will affect your decisions. For example, if your turn has to start with Charter High Seas and you have no other option but to Charter High Seas, and you have no other way of manipulating the top deck, so you have no blue to pitch to gold, for example, or you have no gold, then it wouldn't be a very good Compass, because you're gonna do it anyway.
There's no point. Yeah.
So I would Compass if there is maybe a decision point. For example, maybe you will be playing out the swell first instead of charting the high seas, or if there will be a decision point to be made, like if you could draw, or if you knew the top card is a blue, you would, for example, keep the swell instead of blocking with the swell that turn. That's when I would usually Compass. I try and save the Compass to the last potential moment, because sometimes in a turn you do draw something that will get better if you have a Compass, like a blue sword water swell.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. That's a good insight into the hero. Let's talk about some of the key cards, maybe the stuff that's always in the deck.
So obviously these 9 allies are probably Gravy's best friends.
Yep.
Charm, always good. I mean, he basically gains you 6 life. Swinging for 4 for free every turn is also very strong. It means that your Avastis basically become 4 extra damage. You can also just use a Gold Kiss Drum to attack with him for 4. And Rigor Mortis, just a really cheap ally that also swings for 6, essentially just a 2 resource for 6 that also
so good.
has 1 life attached to him. So if your opponent doesn't clear him, you can actually, on your turn, you can just pitch to gold and draw a card and use the remaining float to swing as well. So he's just a really strong ally by himself, and it's not very easy for a lot of decks to deal 1 damage to something.
Even with the rise of like Syndra and Ira, you still think it's worth playing?
Even Syndra can't really very efficiently deal 1 damage to the minion.
Oh, right.
Usually they play a bunch of hate jabs.
True.
Yeah, unless they're playing the blue version, but I'm also pretty okay if they just sent a dagger into him. I mean, he still gained you 7 value, even if they send something into him. And Sawbones, I mean, he's a slightly more expensive Rigor Mortis, but I mean, he's so much better. He has 2 HP instead. He can tap himself to save your ally. He can tap himself to save you sometimes. And
upgraded Rigor.
Well worth the 1 extra resource.
Yeah. All right, and then you have 1 back alley break line.
Yeah, so I think many decks are running 2 now. I was on 2 before, but I had to find some space to add in my Swift Sword Souls and my CNC. And I think 1 is a good spot. I liked having 2 because it means that you are able to use Call to the Grave early to find back alley break line and still know that you have another copy in your deck. So I think it's a great card. It's great for pitch decking. You can pitch your Charter High Seas and your Swells with it to get action point when you flip them out from your deck. So
fair enough.
Yeah, and sometimes it attacks for 3, I guess. I've done it a few times.
Really?
It is okay to clear in the mirror to clear another Sawbones or something.
I see.
Avastis is vital in the deck. I mean, it is the enabler of getting double ally swings. So together with an Avastis combined with a Mage Master Boots or with a Gold Kiss Ram, you're able to play an ally out, attack with the go again from Avastis, then use the Gold Kiss Ram or the Mage Master Boots to play another ally and swing for the full value.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. That's one of the best turns Gravy Bones has. Loot the Hold is just great disruption tool, especially good after something like Conquer the High Seas.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, since Conquer the High Seas attacks for 8 go again, and your opponent's really incentivized to block it. Typically, they will give 3 cards if they have no Crown of Providence or equipment. And after that, you can just play a Loot the Hold, which activates your ability. You can play out Rigor Mortis or Sawbones if you have this kind of ally that turn, with the remaining 2 float from Conqueror. And when you attack with it, typically, if your opponent only has 1 card left, he has to use it to block. If he has 2 cards left, he has to consider taking the 6 or giving you 2 cards. And when you have an ally out and your opponent has a very small hand, it's quite hard for them to clear. And you're always happy when something survives.
Yeah, pretty disgusting card.
And Conquer the High Seas, I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yep.
It's a 8 go again that costs 4, that has a crazy on hit that does everything you want. You want to destroy the arsenal, you want to gain gold. And
these are interesting. So 2 Swift Water Sloops and 2 Sea Lakes. And 2 Sunken Treasures. Well, all these 2-offs.
I think Sunken Treasure as a 2-off. Most decks I see in the Pro Tour actually were running 3. I guess they were expecting the mirror a lot more, but I feel like 3 Sunken Treasure is a bit bricky since I do draw off the gold quite often to finish my turn or something. So drawing into Sunken Treasure is complete break. You can I guess you can pitch it to another gold, but that would eat another gold.
Right.
Yeah, and
you can't arsenal it.
Yeah, you can't arsenal this, and in some matchups it's just block 3 and make a gold, which is still pretty okay. Swiftwater Sloop, I think in this meta is pretty good since you have to raise down some matchups. Like you can't let Syndra keep getting free value from the Flick Knives and the Mask every turn. You have to present some threats to her face and try and kill her. And Auxilio especially, you can't just keep letting him do whatever he wants.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah, so Swiftwater Sloop is very good. Also very good in the mirror since it just kills Charm with an attack action. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's also good when you want to just keep tempo or threaten your opponent's life total, since the main goal of this deck is somewhat similar to Enigma. You want to get their life totals low to where they have to start blocking your allies, and when they do block your allies, then it gets quite dicey for them to try and clear and threaten face. Sea Lakes, it's a block 3 popper that's yellow. It enables the tipples. It makes a gold case wrong when it's discarded. I think it's just an all-rounder great card. I think it's somewhat better to use than Tip the Barkeep, since Tip the Barkeep requires you to use a whole card to get one around. But Sea Lakes kind of takes technically no cards. You can gravy it away as well to get the gold case wrong. I think it's all around just a great card.
So why just 2 then?
3 Sea Lakes is a little bit bricky. I mean, it's not the best Arsenal card, and I think the person testing a deck with me, which is Chu Heng, is on 3 Sea Lakes and 8 Tipples actually.
Oh,
so that was the last slot basically with Sea Lakes and the yellow Tipple, and I think I decided to put in a Tipple because I wanted a bit more consistency.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have these the standard blues, Murderous Rebel, Call to the Grave.
Murderous Rebel is amazing. I mean, blocks 3 somehow. It also basically goes for 3 go again most of the time. In a 30 blue deck, half the time it'll be 3 go again, and you have so much access to your top deck as well, so you can basically ensure that it's a 3 most of the time.
Yep.
Call to the Grave, it's a tutor for any of your ally. It enables dead threats. You can 2-card Charm by playing Call to the Grave, pitching a blue, activating dead threats, and playing Charm. You can also do a 1-card Rigor Mortis. If you pitch to gold, draw a card with the 1 floating, you can Call to the Grave, find Rigor Mortis, play him out, use dead threats, and attack for 6. Yeah.
So you must draw exactly Call to the Grave.
Yeah, I've done it quite often because you can pitch Eye to gold, and you can look at the top 2 cards and try and find Call to the Grave.
Oh, that's actually quite disgusting.
Yeah. Or if your arsenal is Call to the Grave and you have a blue in hand, you can do the same thing, but you'll end on an arsenal.
Right, okay.
And
that's well.
Yeah, Saltwater Cell. Actually, this is okay. If you see a Call to the Grave on the top deck and you have a blue in hand and you have a gold, then you can actually do it you can actually keep the blue in hand to do that line sometimes.
But draw the gold,
and
then Call the Grave. Yeah.
And Rigor Mortis.
Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah.
Saltwater Cell, I mean, it's a belittle. Pretty sure this card will not. I think this card might get banned.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah, I mean.
Is this one of the? So you say this is one of the stronger cards?
Yeah, because it's it deals 3 damage and refunds 2 resources, or it deals 1 damage, refunds 2 resources, and activates your ability. And it blocks 3 as well. It's basically just a belittle that blocks 3 in the 30 blue deck. It hits half the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, let's see. Let's really watch out for that.
Chart the High Seas. I mean, I think I mentioned this before. It's basically just it has the potential to be Tome. It's kind of like Tome Arcanite and Sonata Galaxia. Sonata Arcanix.
So Arcanix? Which one, the tutor or
Arcanix, the tutor, the one where you looked at the one where you looked at trophy cards over there. It's something like that, where you want a blue and a yellow. But if you hit exactly a blue and an ally, you essentially just drew 2 cards by playing 1 card, and you activated your hero ability as well.
Oh yeah,
pretty amazing, and it works with Black Alley Breakline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's well, you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then you talk about tipples, which is your engines.
Pulsar Exchange is just another tipple.
Okay.
Tip the Barkeep, it's a blue that makes rum. You can see in my topic games, the rum is very, very important.
In the mirrors.
Yeah. Eye of Ophelia, it's great to pitch the gold and look at the top 2 cards, or you can do it in conjunction with Saltwater Swell to guarantee the swell hit.
Unless you hit no blues on the top 2 cards.
It's not very likely.
Okay, so that's like the main core, right? There's still other cards. Okay, so this is Blood in the Water. 3 copies.
So Blood in the Water is great into this meta where there's so much aggressive decks, and it's also great in the mirror, which I mentioned before is to because it counters Blood in the Water. It counters Conqueror of the High Seas so effectively if you play from Arsenal. It just turns Conqueror of the High Seas into a 4/8 goal again, which is so great in the matchup where life totals don't really matter. Yeah, and you can get the high roll off the top deck, and most of the time I just discard top deck no matter what, since even if you don't hit an ally, you're drawing closer to your allies.
So you just blindly.
Yeah, most of the time I'll just blindly destroy it. But I will check the compass if there's an on hit or something, and I need to be sure what it's gonna be blocking for. Yeah. So Command and Conquer is great for aggressive matchups like Syndra, Dio, or Cilio, where they have to set up, and it's just presenting some form of disruption. It's actually okay with Limpet as well, because you can Limpet 2 go again and then Command and Conquer. You can also Gold Case around Command and Conquer. So it's just a pretty strong card.
I mean, you can Conqueror into CNC as well.
Yeah, as well. You can Conquer into CNC to guarantee the Arsenal disruption thing. It's quite hard to block 8 into 6. Anka Drag Under, I mean, I like him because he's a 2-cost 5/3. He's occasionally has an upside where you can make your opponent discard a card when they draw. I would typically only use this when I'm ally flooded in my hand, since trading a card for an opponent's choice, it's not that strong, considering you want to use your allies for tipples or your own gravy ability anyway. Diamond Amulet, it's great for Prism matchup since it counters ALS. And it's just a very good way to just cheat an action point, a great turn 0 play. I mean, it's a blue with Watery Grave, which means you can activate stuff like Anka and Charm late game, as well as just being a blue for your deck. Since most of your goal again is actually conditional. I mentioned before, Mage Master Boots requires a non-attack, so you can only Mage Master Boots an ally, basically. Ram requires you to tap your hero, whereas Diamond Amulet is you can do it from anywhere, from any time. And it also activates Watery Grave when you use it, since it goes to the graveyard and turns face down. So you can use it to start your turn, or you can do it something like after Conquer the High Seas, you can do Diamond Amulet and play an ally. So it's just super flexible. Humperdinck is he's a 6-cost 11/7. He's there for the fatigue matchups. He's just a big guy. It's not very easy for some decks to clear him either.
Definitely.
Limpet is in the same vein. She is very hard to clear for some decks, and it's one of the only allies that will get value every single turn no matter what, since it always has go again. So like, let's say if you have 2 regular monsters on the board, they actually can't attack if you don't draw something like a Vase or you have Ram. So Limpet guarantees that she will always be this annoying 2 damage every single turn. 2 damage, it's just an Ashwing, and 2 damage is actually very relevant. And Sovi, I think he's a bit expensive, but he does come in for 7, which is a breakpoint for things like Cold-Weighted Hook or Loot the Hold. Oyston is just a very, very easy to play out person, and is 0-cost 3 attack. Good into some aggro matchups, and he's very good into the mirror as well, since he kills basically every single ally that Gravy has just by himself, and he's so low commitment, and your opponent also doesn't feel good killing him since he has a death trigger. And
one snack.
One snack. That's all you need for Slippy. I think if you blank like 1 Bonds of Agony, they've pretty much lost the game.
So I must say, very interesting choices of the quantities of allies you have. I assume it's mostly how you planned out the sideboarding for each matchup, right?
So I think I think allies in the sideboard should be 2. Since it's essentially a 2-box deck, and these are 2-box allies. You can leave them in the graveyard for as long as you want and bring them out whenever you want. So having many one-offs is not that much of a problem, since they are, and you do have a tutor as well. So if you really need the allies, you can just find them. And Oh, one more thing for the snack I forgot to mention. You can actually snack things like Felling of the Crown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of times when your opponent's trying to target and kill Charm or Wailer Humperdinck with stuff like Felling of the Crown, Plow Under, or if they're playing Assassin and use Razor's Edge, you can just snag the attack and your ally will survive, which is really backbreaking a lot of the time for the decks.
Wait, you play this into Earth Heroes?
Yeah, I do play this in Earth Heroes.
Okay.
Since, I mean, at worst, it's a blue into Valence and Florian, which both do Arcane. And you can also just use it defensively to prevent 4 damage from their Fellings or Plow Unders. But if you do it to save your Charm or your Humperdinck, I think the game might honestly just be over from that point. Like if you save a Humperdinck from something like the 3-point Cadaverous dealing, because it just goes to 6 afterwards and this will leave at 1. So it's really, really, really bad for the
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's talk about your run at Pro Tour. Maybe roughly you can go through the first 5 CC rounds.
Sure. So the first half of the day I was playing mostly Slippies. I thought my first round was a Slippy, and I believe that game I got bounced 4 times.
You lost your very first game.
Yeah, I lost my very
you
first
lost
game.
round 1.
So I actually had a brave fight. I brought Mage Master Boots instead of Quick Dodge Flexes by accident. And I think it was actually still pretty okay. The game went well. I was able to block his bonds. At least the first. I was able to block the first 3 bonds effectively.
That's so cute.
But the 4th bonds, because I ran out of stuff to block the bonds with anymore. And actually not having the quick dodge actually hurt really badly because I had to snag and blood one of the bonds, which was the mental bonds. So I couldn't block the last bonds. I went over by 1. And because I anticipated just a nick, I think it was a slight misplay. I think I should have anticipated for 2+3s, but I did just a nick and Concealed Blade and got it over by 1. So I lost, I think, 3 tipples and it ended in fatigue.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
And that game, I don't think I drew my tipples early, so I was quite gold starved as well. Yeah.
Okay, then more Slippies, I guess, after that.
Yeah, after that I paired into a KO, interestingly.
Okay.
He actually, I went first and I started off quite well. I went second and it started very well. I played Conquer the High Seas into chart the High Seas, and I set up Rigor Mortis and Song for 6. So his first turn was actually quite stifled. He had to just clear allies and do nothing.
Yep.
But after that, I had some pretty mediocre turns. I had Rigor Mortis. I just set up Rigor Mortis, I think, on turn 2, and Limpia on turn 3. Whereas his turn 2, 3, and 4 were all Blood Shadow turns.
Oh my god.
So I actually took a lot of damage from the Blood Shadows.
Oh my god.
And I think one of them he actually rolled a 5 on the scabs as well. He was quite aggressive with the scabs rolling.
Okay.
So I took a lot of damage from that, but it's because KO doesn't really want to clear allies on Blood Shadow turns. I was able to push back with the Rigor Mortis and a Limpid.
Oh, so he just left it there.
Yeah, to trade efficiently into the Blood Rush turns.
Okay.
And on the 3rd Blood Rush Values, my hand had not bad. I think I had 3 allies, so I couldn't really block anything. I had to take a lot of damage. But I ended up playing a Sawbones from my graveyard, and I was at 10 HP, I believe, to his I think 2 or 4 after he took another Limpid into Rigor Mortis.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I had to play. I think I played a Sloop turn as well on the last turn.
Okay,
so
that's
it was
pretty
quite,
good.
Yeah, it was quite a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But that was the 3rd Blood Velo, and I think he realized that he had to gamble. I discarded he randomly discarded the Wild Ride, which I guess was the extended that turn. So he tried to roll scabs, and then he rolled a 3, broke Gambler's Gloves, and he rerolled into a 1. So, from there I had a crazy board, and he only had 4 lives. So I was pretty over.
Wow.
But he told me, I think he mentioned to me that if he had rolled a 5, he would be able to play Bare Fangs and potentially discard Beast Within, and then play a CNC. I think I could have blocked it out and maybe just sent 2 into 6 again. But
yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, that was a pretty crazy game.
That was a game. Sure.
Yeah. Then the next, I think the next 2 games were both Slippies.
Okay.
So this time I brought the right boots this time, and I blocked out the bonds really well.
Okay.
I think I snagged one of the bonds. And I noticed the sleepies in Pro Tour were all trying very heavily to fatigue with stuff like Double Trouble, which is not what the Singaporean sleepies are trying to do. So it was a bit different. I changed my sideboarding after my first loss, and I brought in more allies. I brought in stuff like Limpeh as well, because they can't really kill Limpeh very efficiently, and she's very good against fatigue. I brought in the one Wheeler Humperdinck. I brought in the Ankas instead, just the 5-3.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh, interesting.
yeah, the matchup went pretty okay. I think I killed most of them without reaching a pitch deck.
Wow.
Yeah,
So first cycle you killed them.
yeah, but my deck is very aggressive because it does have the soups and a lot of go again from the Swiftwater Swell, which is Saltwater Swell, which is just a crazy card. So again, the deck can string together a crazy damage turn out of nowhere sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sleepy.
And then on the last CC game, I played into a Florian actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that game, the matchup is really, really, really favored for Greedy Bones.
Okay.
So I just spent most of the game trying to keep my life total high so I can have one big pivot turn where I just set up a bunch of board. And I kept my Wheeler Humperdinck in the graveyard for most of the game until I saw he was at 1 HP and no equipment. And that's when I actually my hand was I dropped the hand that I pitched deck, which was 2 blues, a Conquer the High Seas, and a Chart the High Seas. So I had the choice to just keep playing out the Conquer the High Seas and just keep playing, but I just took the guaranteed win line, I guess, which is to play Chart the High Seas, Greedy Bones, discard the Conqueror, play Whaler and swing him for 11. So since he was at 1 and had no equipment, it essentially stripped every single card from him every single turn. So yeah, he just conceded.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after draft, you went 5-1 on Gravies, and then 4 more rounds of CC.
Yep. So my next day was mostly the mirror. I faced. I think my first game was against Ira. I was on the reserve stream, but I didn't show it, unfortunately. I think it was a crazy good game.
Oh, you talked to me about this.
Yeah.
The
So,
sirens.
Yeah, he I think he made a critical error where he thought Sirens blocked for 3.
Yeah.
So he blocked my Conquer the High Seas with a Sirens, a 3 block and a 2 block, and he told me it was blocking 8. So I took his word for it. I guess I should have checked. And because I was trying to play quickly since the matchup was getting quite grindy.
Yeah.
I wanted to play out the Anka and swing, and that's when the judge stepped in and told us to pause the game. And he actually rectified it back to the damage step of Conquer the High Seas. So he lost his arsenal, which was a CNC, and I created a gold, which enabled my Anka to swing with a gold with a hook on hit.
I see.
Yeah, so that's pretty unfortunate for my opponent, but I think he actually did matter quite a lot actually in the final, because I remember I was actually getting quite close to fatigue. I was down to my last 2 allies, which was Humperdinck and Rigor Mortis, and I had to string together because he was at 7 HP. I had to string together a turn that would take him from 7 to 1 so that my Humperdinck would give me the checkmate position, I guess. So I was counting my pitch deck and I had 4 gold, and I counted that if I drew exactly, I think 4 cards, I could reach it, which my pitch deck was a Chart the High Seas, Back Alley Break Line, the Rigor Mortis, and another blue. I think Eye of Ophidia. So I drew 4 cards. I played Saltwater Swell, revealing the Back Alley Break Line and pitching it. And then I played Chart the High Seas, discarding Rigor Mortis and pitching the Eye of Ophidia. So then I used Dead Threads. I drew another card from the gold I created from Rigor Mortis. I played the Rigor Mortis, used the Greedy Bones ability to used Gold Key's Rum to swing for 6 with Go Again into Mage Master Boots into Humperdinck for 11.
What
So
the shit?
yeah, the insane 18 damage turn.
Draw 4 cards, send 17.
And he was able to block out and go to 1 HP. I believe because he had the defense reaction.
Okay.
But I was able to just pitch deck the same thing essentially, since my deck was quite. I drew basically my whole deck that turn.
Yeah.
I was able to pitch deck the Chart the High Seas together with the Back Alley Break Line again. So next turn I could just swing for 11 into 6 again. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This deck can really produce some crazy numbers when you win in the second cycle. Yeah. Then the next 3 games were all mirrors. I remember the next game actually was against Michael Hamilton, and I drew like the worst I've ever drawn with this deck. I think the first 6 turns, I didn't see a single ally or a tipple.
Oh my god.
And I played Rams or something. And I remember, I think on turn 3 or 4, I had to conquer the high seas, his sore bones, because he had 2 sore bones out. And luckily I did, because next time he played Charm, and I would have probably lost the game from there if I didn't kill the sore bones that turn.
Oh my god.
Immediately. But
That's so bad.
yeah, I had to use Ram to play an ally from hand and kill an ally, I think twice. The first time was I think Anka, the second time was Oyster. But I pretty much accepted that the game was a loss after like turn 4 when I had nothing, and he drew pretty well as well.
Yeah.
So
you lost that game.
Yeah, I lost that game. I wasn't very tilted by anything. I mean, the deck is essentially a high roll deck sometimes, and you can, in the same vein as stuff like Room Blade, you can also low roll and not draw key parts of your deck.
Yep.
So I think actually a very important part of playing Gravy Bones is having the mental to accept that some games especially because if you draw tipples, it means there's less tipples in the deck, and you will probably draw a hand of like more allies than tipples.
And you always want to have a combination.
Yeah, you always
tipples
want.
and
Yeah,
allies.
it's the same problem as Room Blade.
Yeah.
So after that game, I went on to play 2 more Gravy Mirrors, but I think I'm actually quite well versed in that matchup, and especially since I think I'm probably the only Gravy in Pro Tour to be running Blind the Waters in the mirror. I think Blind the Water is a very, very crazy, spicy tech that negates one of the best cards, that turns the tempo so much is compared to High Seas. Yeah.
What do you think actually turns the Gravy Mirror?
I think the Scuba is a great addition that their teams were running. Okay. It's very annoying to kill since there's 4 HP. And
Hamilton was on that, right?
Yeah, Hamilton and Arthur Trehe was on that, I believe.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the great pieces that I did not tech. I didn't think there would be this many Gravy Bones. Since I thought the meta would be dominated by Syndra and Sippy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the Blind the Water inclusion was great. But I think the players from overseas weren't really expecting the matchup to go to Fatigue. Since most of them were running clean 60 into the mirror. And
you were not?
I was not. I was always running 63, I believe. I would run 2 Blind the Water. I think 3 is a bit bricky. Yeah. I run the Limpets since they kill allies efficiently and your opponent has to deal with them. I ran Sobby.
Oh, you don't run Humperdinck?
No, I don't run Humperdinck because he's very bad at killing allies. I mean, he costs 6 and he swings for 11, which is like 10 times the HP of anyone. And he is not. I guess he will come in a fatigue situation, but even then he dies with like 1 Sobby attack. So
your game plan is actually, I mean, in the mirror, I guess you want to send allies to clear allies, right?
You want to I think you want to send tipples to kill the allies.
Send tipples. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can, because the tipples are so efficient in clearing allies.
Okay.
And you can use the allies to either go face or to just like to force your opponent to have an answer. I think the first player to have a board that's 6 around probably wins the game. Oyster is a great low investment. I mean, it costs 0 swing as well. You can use it to kill basically any ally in the deck. I run the Ankas. Occasionally useful to make them discard a card, but I not normally use the effect since if they have more than 1 Watery Grave, they will probably just discard the whole card with Watery Grave. Yeah, you can use it. You can use it to if they were digging for an arsenal, for example. But that situation comes out quite rarely.
So there's a lot more allies you put into the mirror.
Yeah, I put a lot of allies in the mirror because I do think the matchup goes to Fatigue.
Okay. You play for Fatigue, basically.
Into their list, yes, because actually the day before the top 8, I tested the matchup with Chu Hing. I think he ran Arthur Trehe's list. And the game ended in Fatigue.
Okay.
So I think it's very possible if both players don't have a crazy start, or if both players just draw like mediocre, I think it will go to Fatigue, especially because I have Blind Waters. I can drag the game out quite long.
Wow. Well, that's good insight. Wonder if overseas players are listening to this. Now they know the secrets.
Yeah, I think I cut 2 Loot the Hold blues to run the 2 Sunken Treasures, so I think I wanted to keep a clean 30 blues. Yeah, because Loot the Hold isn't that useful in the matchup since if you are hitting an ally with your ally, the Loot the Hold on hit essentially doesn't exist. Yeah.
Well, what about in general then? Like, I'm sure you tested a lot into other decks as well. Like you mentioned some tech for Prism. Um, what other top heroes are there? Verdance.
I think Verdance and Florian are pretty easy. I think they are pretty top decks. They're pretty. They have a big following, I guess, and along with Victor, but they're pretty easy. The matchups are pretty easy. You just run some go against, and if you are able to stick a board around, they probably lose on the play. They usually lose on the spot. The sloops do help in those matchups as well, since they present a huge amount of damage. And I mean, in those matchups, you just want to chip them low enough to where they can't keep no blocking your board and have to start blocking so that they can kill and you make it harder, even harder for them to kill your board. The aggro matchups like Syndra, Dio, and
Prism? Is Prism?
I guess kind of aggro, but Prism is
a bit
different. Yeah. I run the D-Rex there,
Yep.
and I do try and like race them a little bit while playing for value. I've accepted that mass momentum is unpreventable in this deck most of the time. But if you don't have an ally on the turn, for example, if the turn you just presented a CNC, the Blind Water can come in handy to try and prevent them from drawing a card.
Right.
Yeah, and Blind Water is just, it's just great. It turns the ally into 2-block and it blocks a 4 as well.
So, I mean, typically people I would say like Syndra is the worst matchup.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
I think Syndra is pretty bad. Since they clear your ally for free every turn essentially.
Yeah.
And they also have so much damage potential. I mean, Gary Bones is the strongest when he has a stockpile of gold. And getting to that stockpile takes some turns. And sometimes the Syndra can do a crazy amount of damage if your hand is like at 2 ally flooded.
Yeah.
And if you don't present too much, if you don't present like little fast enough, they will just snowball everything and kill you.
So your plan still is to race?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
interesting.
I think how you beat the matchup is you use your unfair numbers to combat their unfair numbers. So you have to use stuff like Sloop, Conquer the High Seas, your allies which are all unfair numbers to like try and Saltwater Swirl as well, try and overcome.
I mean, your allies basically attack and still soak up some damage, I guess. So that's a good part.
Yeah, I think the damage soaking up doesn't matter in that matchup specifically because they draw a card after you kill the ally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but typically for other matchups like Dio and CP and Prism, Prism actually, especially, they have to spend a whole Herald to kill an ally, which means the Herald actually have a lot of health.
Yeah.
And just be wary that they can use the Herald of Ravagers Figment of Ravagers at any time to kill your ally. So you shouldn't start your turn by playing things like Rigor Mortis with Go again.
Okay, so after the whole thing, is there anything you would change about the deck or any new lessons you learned?
I think I might start running Scuba, and in the same vein, I might try out Prismatic Leyline. I've checked out a list by some of the amazing members in the Flesh and Blood Discord to try out the Prismatic Leylines.
Yeah. I think I've seen that floating around as well.
Yeah.
Like
shout out to Draconic Ash. I think I took her list to try out in Armory yesterday.
How was it?
It was pretty good. I used 2 ley lines in conjunction with a blue swell and a red swell, and I swung Sobi. Oh my god, it was pretty crazy. But it just seems in the same slot. It seems to take the same slots kind of as the red sloop. I guess it makes the deck a bit more aggressive, so the playstyle definitely will change along with it. It's a good way to extend your hand. Yeah, and it works straight along.
Interesting. Cool. Well, thanks for the deck tech. I think we went quite in-depth about it. I would say this is probably built with the meta in mind, right? And then upcoming with, I don't know, Guardians and Brutes. Do you think Gravy will still be relevant?
Well, I mean, I think he's great into Guardian, straight up.
Sure.
Their clashes don't work on your ally attacks.
Yeah.
So if I were to anticipate more Guardians, I'll probably run Limpid, a third copy of Limpid, maybe a second copy of Whaler Humperdinck. I think that matchup gets a bit dicey with Better to a Pulp, since if your compass gets lost, it does get a bit dicey.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Yal does that as well, right? They try and break your compass.
Yeah, but by the time usually Yal takes 2 turns to break the compass. Unless they, and by the time they are doing it, because they have spent 2 turns of not killing any allies to do the compass play. So by that time, you probably have a board of like 3 or 4 allies. In those matchups, you run a lot of allies, so it's very consistent to find the allies early.
I do have one more question that I just remembered. One notable exclusion from your deck that's a good card is Give No Quarter. Did you try that out? Is that?
I tried Give No Quarter. I love the card. I mean, I opened the EA version as well, so it was like a bit hard pain to not run the card. But the card doesn't do that much. It enables you to double ally more efficiently, but double ally turns are not that common in Gravy Bones, even though they are the strongest turns you can have. I think the closest comparison to it is like a chart the high seas, where you get a blue from the top deck. But chart the high seas also supports the attack cost of the card, which and none of the allies really line up for like a 1-card play with no quarter. You can't really give no quarter and play an ally and swing unless it's Oyster, which you could do with any blue. Even Charm costs 4, you have to pitch another card to it. So I think it's a bit awkward to use, but it definitely it probably would be better if I had more than one Humperdinck. I think it's the best. One of the best use cases of it is with Humperdinck, because you can play Give No Quarter from hand and basically Humperdinck with
reduce the cost. Okay, I hope we went through everything about the deck, and congrats again on your run. You are officially a Gravy Master. If you have any other questions or comments, leave it down below. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Go follow Shirui. You just set up a new Twitter account.
Yeah,
right?
It's my Shirui1.
Yes, links will be below. I think I can post the deck list below as well in the description. I think you have a matchup guide as well.
Yeah, I put up a quick sideboard guide.
Yeah, a quick sideboard guide. So everything is there, and go try it out. Very strong hero, Pro Tour champion, Pro Tour winning hero. Right, see you all next time. Bye bye. Bye.
Oh, bye.